hit that like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit those notifications as well. Salute to the whole entire LDBC basketball and boxing. You know how I'm rocking. Um, Let me let some people get up in here, man. We do have some breaking news. It's actually not shocking, um, but it's the first blockbuster deal that has went on. I'll wait for some people to get up in here. What's up with it, Cheyenne? I see you in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button when you come in here. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, like button, like button, like button when you come in here, man. And share the video. Share the video, man. Come on, let's not condense it to ourselves, man. I'm working hard for y'all. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, man. Thank y'all. Hit the like button, hit the like button, like button, like button. Now, I was in the middle of one live, but then I had to go ahead and get to the next one. Brown Sugar, I see you in the building. Man, you know, Ashley, I see you in the building. What's up with it, sweetie? I see you in here. Like button, like button, like button, like button, like button. Um, I'll start in about 30 seconds. Stephen Green, I see you in the building. Make sure you go sub to the brother Stephen Green in the building. I was just in the middle of a live talking about Anthony Davis, and then this popped up. Uh, yes, donate if you can. Dollar sign straight to the point 77. All Star Trae Young has been traded to the Wizards in exchange for Chris Kirkspert and C.J. McCullough going to the Wizards. This isn't no surprise. They had been shopping and trying to work this deal out, and Trae Young actually wanted to go there. Trae Young actually wanted to go there. What's up with it, Alex? I see you in the building. Now, do I think that this is a good move? Not, not for this year. No, it's not, because the Wizards aren't going to go anywhere. Maybe they could build a relationship and it can evolve over time. But um, again, this is the first blockbuster deal that has taken place right now, and there's going to be many more. Like I was just talking to a few minutes ago before I shut that live down about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is about to be shopped too, and the potential teams are the Hawks, the Raptors, and the Bucks. Okay, so y'all just keep your eyes on that. And there are multiple teams that I just mentioned. Detroit was one of them, but I don't think Detroit is going after Anthony Davis much anymore. But there are multiple teams that are trying to go after, surprisingly, AD, even given his injury history. But we're not here to talk about AD. We're here to talk about Trae Young. Listen, man, I like Trae Young. Have I been highly critical of him? Yes, I have. You know, because he's very turnover prone. He's turnover prone, just like Luka Doncic was, just like my boy Russell Westbrook was. However, it does not take away from his talent. But let's just call it what it is, man. Over the last couple seasons, Trae Young has been injury prone. Um, he has not been able to lead the team to back to when they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I want to say 2021 or whatever, and he just hasn't gotten back to prominence or whatnot. And this is a guy, man, that has shown the capability to score, shown the capability to set the table and everything, but it just hasn't worked out. And I think that the Hawks upper management, they've seen the emergence of Johnson. They've seen the emergence of Dyson Daniels and all those guys that came up. They were winning without Trae Young, and then once Trae Young had came back, it was kind of like, well, he doesn't fit what they're trying to do, you know. And on top of that, they didn't offer him an extension coming over the summer. Let me look at these comments. You said the Warriors too. Yeah, yeah, man. But you know what, Alex? I don't know about. I don't know about the Warriors, man. I don't think I don't think I don't think AD would be. I don't think he wants that headache, man. He gonna go to more stress, but I'll get to that in a second. You said I think it's a good move for the Wizards. They haven't gotten a good player since John Wall. Yeah, but they still not gonna go nowhere. Cheyenne. You said and Russell Westbrook too. Yeah, they're not gonna go nowhere. The Wizards, man, their organization, like they don't tend to show any type of progress at all, man. I mean, even when you feel like they're getting ready to break out and everything, they're gonna really have to make some moves, some really hardcore moves, man, in order to get them back to even an elite status, like like what you talked about with John Wall and everything. But they're not going nowhere this year. Now to get back to what Alex was talking about, I do. What you on top of that, man? You know, the Warriors right now they rely heavily just on one player, and we already know that they rely too much on Steph Curry or whatnot. Reason why I bring that up is because when you brought Jimmy Butler in there, yeah, they were supposed to be a contender. You know what I'm saying? So if you bring AD in there, okay, expect y'all to win championships at least, regardless of his injury history, because we know that when 100% healthy, AD plays like the best player in the league. You said I would love AD to go to state. Exactly. He's too injury prone, man. He's too injury prone. Appreciate the light, man. Y'all share the video too. Um, yeah, it's too injury prone, man. You got to have somebody that's healthy. That's what I'm saying about like with Trae Young. If he could stay healthy, that would be a great thing. But it's like every time you turn around, you like what I was talking about Zach Edey. He's starting to turn into one of the players. Like always hurting everything. Oh man, don't do your boy like that. You took your like away. Y'all don't like this. Y'all mad because I said that about the Warriors? Come on, man. Yeah, y'all got to show me for the future, man. Well, Trae Young don't have as much time as we think. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, he's still in his 20s and everything, but you know, I mean, given the injuries and stuff like that, man, and if we're talking about like the Wizards being like a couple of people, but a lot of people like to move. I don't really I don't particularly care about the move. You know, and a lot of people think that I hate on Trae Young. No, I'm not hating on Trae Young. I'm definitely not hating on Trae Young. You know, I think he has a lot to offer. At one point, I ain't gonna lie, I would have loved to have Trae Young in Philly. Now, at one point, he was turnover prone. He did cut down the turn. Um, what wasn't that good, But like I said, that that came with youth. But again, Trae Young to the Wizards. We'll see what the Wizards can make of this. Um, Now Atlanta has gotten rid of Trae Young. The Trae Young era is officially over. It's officially over now. Okay, and Dyson Daniel era now. Okay, and we'll see what happens with that. I mean, Atlanta got some players. Atlanta's no joke, man. I mean, their record. what I think they were 18 and 20 something, or last time I checked, they were like 17 and 20 something, or whatever. But Atlanta is not a team that you could just underrate. They're a team that when you come in there, you're gonna have to play, man. And everybody wants to sit up here and they want to talk about, oh yeah, they don't have it, they don't have this guy, they don't have that guy. Sometimes it's not about having a superstar. And when I think about that, I think about Detroit. Like I think about Detroit and the 04 team. They didn't not necessarily have a superstar or whatnot. You know what I mean? They had really great players. I mean, some people would consider um, Big Ben a superstar. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about defensively and stuff like that, I mean, he is a Hall of Famer and everything. But a lot of people they didn't look at Chauncey Billups as no superstar. They didn't look at Rip Hamilton as no superstar. They didn't look at Rasheed Wallace as no superstar. Tayshaun Prince, all them guys. They didn't look at them as superstars. They just looked at them as a bunch of glue guys that could play defense and everything and get it done. But I mean, look, hey, they wanted to make this move, and on top of that, he had a relationship with the guy. I can't forget it. I keep forgetting his name. The guy that's in the front office over there with the Wizards. Maybe y'all can fact check me on that. He's over there. He used to be with Atlanta. He actually pulled the trigger to get Trae Young or whatever, but then he went to the Wizards or whatever, and um, now he's back over there, with him, and maybe Trae Young could have control of what he wants to do. Now, look, I'll put it to you like this: in hindsight, maybe this might be good for Trae Young. It might be good for Trae Young. However, he's not. He's getting older. You know what I'm saying? He's getting over. They're gonna have to start back over the Wizards. I don't see them coming back and making the play in or playoffs and none of that other stuff, man. Nah, they're gonna have to go through a rebuild. It's just like when he went to Atlanta. Atlanta was kind of at the bottom of the barrel or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then he, slowly, started to take that team back to where they once were. A really competitive team. Is he going to be able to do that with the Wizards? That's the big question. When you got big forces in the East now, you know what I'm saying? When you got, all the way when we talk about the top team, like a Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bostons, okay? Like the New York Knicks, even though that they done took a couple of L's or whatever, you know what I'm saying? New York Knicks definitely still been balling, and that's what we got to look at. You know what I'm saying? You still got some other competitive teams up in there. My 76ers, you know what I'm saying? The East is becoming, a rugged place. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Detroit is head and shoulders, yeah, I mean, one time you still got to kind of watch out for Cleveland or whatever. I don't put too much stock in Cleveland like what I used to, but there's gonna be some more moves made. Like I said, I was in the middle of talking about AD, and this popped up. I had to break the story or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For you, that's what we do here over here, straight to the point. I mean, few can love it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but many gonna respect it, and you don't have to like it. You don't have to like it over here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, like I told you, if you don't choose to, what I'm saying, mess with my channel, you can make two decisions. You know what I'm saying? It really don't make no difference to me. You said where do you think AD is going to end up? I'm glad you asked that, Cheyenne. if I'm a betting man, if I'm a betting man, I think the Raptors will be a good place for him. The question is though, who are they gonna give up to get AD? You know what I'm saying? Because he does have of his contract. You know what I'm saying? I think about R.J. Barrett. I think about Scotty Barnes. I think about Brandon Ingram. You know what I'm saying? I think about them guys. I think about Emmanuel quickly. You know, but I would though. But I know that because they're one of the team and the team that we just talked about, the Hawks. So let's see what happens. Maybe AD might go to the Hawks, Cheyenne. They get two players on their roster. They got Chris Cursive and they got CJ McCollum. Hawks. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if the Hawks, the Raptors, and the Bucks, according to uh, Christian of the Athletic. you know, so that's why I think is going to happen. Me myself personally, I don't think AD should go anywhere. But they want to build around Cooper Flag. Now, remember in the beginning, just a few months ago, Mark Cuban came out and bluntly stated that they're not going to trade AD. But you see how shit changes quickly, Cheyenne, Brown Sugar, Ashley, you know what I'm saying, Stephen Green, everybody up in here. You see how shit changes, you know? So, like I say, if he goes to Atlanta, kudos to him. But are they going to win? He's going to be playing with them young guys. You know what I'm saying? Them young guys don't be getting hurt like that. Dyson Daniels don't be getting hurt. Jalen Johnson don't be getting hurt. You know, them guys ain't injury prone. That's what I respect about a team like Detroit. You don't see all them guys getting hurt. I mean, Ivy was getting hurt, but guess what? He back. And that type of injury that he had, that's understandable. But the shit that LeBron is pulling, this shit that LeBron is pulling against the Spurs, that's inexcusable. Don't nobody want to see that no more. Everybody's tired of seeing this shit. Zion Williamson, even though that he played and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? We got to wonder if your ass was really injured because apparently you had enough energy. You weren't injured enough to go be knocking these only fans up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, which I'm gonna talk about and I'm gonna get more in depth to. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, guys don't want to see injury-prone players just running around the court no more. Not that's why you see Kawhi Leonard stepping his game up now. You know what I'm saying? Back to somewhat of the level where he was playing when he was at that pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Zion was clapping them cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, Cheyenne, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? As a man, damn, there ain't nothing wrong with that shit. But damn, can you stay focused? I mean, shoot, some of the greatest players that played in the NFL and NBA, you think they wasn't having lots of females? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Michael Irvin, you know what I'm saying? Who I feel like should be in the front office of the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? But they tripping on him, so he doing his thing over there with the Miami Hurricanes or whatever. You think Michael Irvin wasn't clapping them cheeks? You know what I'm saying? He probably was snorting lines off of them females' titties and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot. But guess what? He was always ready. You say I ain't mad at him for that, but damn, yeah, he got to stay focused. Look, Wilt Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it all the way back to Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain had a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't stop him from balling. You think Jordan wasn't smashing every female that was out there? Yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't stop him. Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman was notorious for having multiple women at a time. You know what I'm saying? All them wild parties. But guess what? He was always at the gym on time. You know what I'm saying? Always ready to go. Always energetic. Going to do everything he can and didn't play less than 100%. Matter of fact, he was going 150%. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. It makes you look so bad. Look, if you want to get like 4, 5, look at Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't stopped his production. Stephon Diggs up in there got 4 females pregnant at one time or whatever. It hasn't stopped him. You know what I'm saying? And Cardi B seems to love it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Men and women, they gonna get it in. That's what you're supposed to do or whatever. But damn, you got to remember that, you still got to be a productive female or man of society. You said Dennis Rodman be partying late night and then proceed to ball out. That's what you're supposed to do. Look, man, you don't let it get in the way. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of guys that smoke weed, you know what I'm saying? But they don't be out there broadcasting and shit like that. They go out there and take care of business, like Stacks, Steven Jackson. Salute to Stacks and everything. Shoot, he smoked a lot of weed or whatever, but it didn't stop him from balling. Still came out there, still took care of business or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, there's a lot of guys that probably drink a lot. Larry Bird drank a lot. You know what I'm saying? It didn't stop him. He was still doing workouts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan drank, smoked cigars, did all that shit. When it was game time, guess what? He showed up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's body different, though. Everybody's body different. You know what I'm saying? Some people can handle that shit. Some people can't. You know what I'm saying? Like Steve Kerr, he said, he tried to party with Dennis Rodman. He knew he wasn't the animal that Dennis Rodman was. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, there's a lot of guys that probably snorted cocaine back in the days. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, popping some pills, sipping some syrup, do whatever you do, whatever vice you had, fucking all these prostitutes, whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? But can you show up the next morning for workouts? Can you show up to the game? Can you show up without something being wrong with you? That's what we need to know. Now, I know I wasn't supposed to be talking about none of this, but I had to bring that up, because the fans, they want to know, are you going to put the ball in the hole? You know what I'm saying? The fans want to know, are you going to go win the game? The fans want to know, are you going to score that touchdown that is going to lead you to an NFC championship, an AFC championship, and hopefully the Lombardi. They don't care what you're doing, as long as you ain't, you know what I'm saying, you ain't out here, taking nobody out. You ain't out here, R-ing nobody or S-A and nobody or any of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But as far as your vices in life, you know what I'm saying, what you drinking, what you smoking, what you putting in your body and all that other stuff, hey, to each is everybody own. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge nobody on that. That's why I'm like, oh my God, how could you have Dennis Rodman as your starting power forward? He did this, he did that. He wore a dress and all this other bullshit. Man, I don't give a fuck what that motherfucker wear. Hell, he could, if he choose not to wear no motherfucking clothes, pause. You know what I'm saying? That's on him. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to show up with a uniform on the next morning or, you know what I'm saying, the next day, you know what I'm saying, and do your job? We didn't ask you when you came to the squad. We didn't ask you what you were doing off the court. You know what I'm saying? We didn't ask you what you were doing off the court, and that's my whole thing. With Zion Williamson, you want to put everything out there. You man, and if you're gonna, that's another thing too. Here's another thing. You said Rodman can do what he wants, but he play hard. Yeah, man. Look, as long as you still able to get on the bike and still lift weights and do all that other stuff or whatever, man, I don't give a fuck how much you drink. But I want to say this too, though, Stephen Green. I want to say this too, Cheyenne. I want to say this too, Brown Sugar. I want to say this too, Alex, Ashley, everybody up in here, right? Like Zion Williamson be going with these OnlyFans models and stuff like that. Nigga, why don't you fucking capitalize on that? Like, if you listen, if you gonna be with an OnlyFans model, be like, well, look what Finesse Two Times doing. Finesse Two Times made what? I think damn near 40K or something like that on OnlyFans or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know everybody hating on Finesse two times, but guess what? He tearing up the internet right now. You know what I'm saying? This dude getting on. Look, he honestly, he could continue doing this. But what I'm saying is capitalize on that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you like to, have sex with beautiful girls, you know what I'm saying, or you like to, get it in with dudes or something like that. Hey, you could call these females what you want to or whatever, but what you can't call them is broke, depending on what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? If they choose to do that, okay, go ahead and capitalize on it. And that's what I'm saying with Zion. You're not capitalizing on what you're doing. I'm saying allegedly, if you did get that model pregnant or whatever the case is, hey, she gonna get the payday, not you. You gonna be stuck with her. You know what I'm saying, for another 18 years. You know what I'm saying? And some of these females, you got to be careful who you having kids with or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They could end up destroying your life, making your life a living hell. You know what I'm saying? So why not just capitalize on that stuff? You know what I'm saying, in terms of doing OnlyFans, if you love OnlyFans models that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make money. You can make more money in that. Or if you're not heavily invested in basketball or something like that, you might as well just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And be a porn star, or whatever it is, or whatever the case is. I know some people trip out when I say that shit, but come on, man, we live in a sexual type of society. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Everybody want to try to hide it, and everybody want to try to be all PG-13. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga right here. You know what I'm saying? He tried to come up in here being all PG-13, but I mean, come on, man. Your name is the lust demon and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you try to come up in here, being, all nice and Lion King, Snow White, Disney movie. I want the lust demon. That's what we want. We
What's up, y'all? Ty?
want the lust demon. You know what I'm saying? That squirting that semen. Oh, I'm sorry, pause. Anyway, man, I got my nigga Cyrus TV up in this bitch, man. Make sure y'all go sub to his channel. Cyber TV done came up in here, man. Trae Young to the Wizards. We already talked about it. Go ahead, cook on it.
Really won't make a difference. Not this year. Maybe next year it'll probably make a difference, but this year it won't make a difference. They season already decided, unless a miracle really happens. But it really ain't gonna make a difference. They season is decided. I mean, it's a good move for the Hawks going forward. Didn't have to give up too much on both sides with the Wizards and the Hawks. Neither one of them. Well, the Wizards ain't going nowhere, but I think it'll look good next year.
Hey, I said the same exact thing. Now, I got to ask you a question, my nigga Cypress. Check it. Now, this is the first blockbuster deal of the year. This is the first blockbuster deal of the year. Now, it's been, reported that the Mavs are going to move AD. Okay. Now, one of the teams was the Hawks that were, that have a strong possibility of getting him, as well as the Raptors, as well as the Bucks. Where's a good fit for AD, man?
Uh, the Bucks, because he's injury prone, and you really don't have to worry about him doing much with Giannis over there, KP. That's only gonna make Miles Turner step up and play harder.
But that's the thing. Who the Bucks going to give up to get him? Cause that's what I was just talking about with the Raptors. If he goes there, with Bi and with Scotty Barnes and quickly, you know what I'm saying, and RJ Barrett up there, you know what I'm saying. Who they gonna give up to get him? The Bucks gonna have to give up something.
I don't know, but if the Hawks can get him for a little or nothing, which they should, I think he'll look better. Well, the reason why I said the Bucks is because you got Giannis, you got players. You know he's gonna be injury prone, so you really don't have to worry about him. You really can't depend on him. So with him going there, you know he's really not dependable. And
Okay, do that make them? Okay, do that make them a player? Let me look at some of these comments. You said trade McCullum makes the Hawks better. They still need another piece, Steven. I gotta disagree with you on that. But they need some more. If they talking about championship, then yeah, I think they'll do damage with Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels. You know, those are my guys right there. But I think they need some more. And you said, oh, he disagreed with you on it. He said, not true Cypress, not Bucks. He injured too much, so AD no help. What you think about that side?
I think he's tripping. Listen, man, the Hawks is a young team and they moved Trae Young. So guess what? They decided that they're gonna build a team around Jalen Johnson. That is settled. You don't bring no injured AD into that situation. And you got a young, promising future with Jalen Johnson. Okay, with the Raptors, you won't have to give much, but do you want to break up that young team with Bi quickly and Scotty Barnes, who you know gonna go out and produce, and bring an injured AD there? And sense of you bring AD to Milwaukee won't hurt it, man, because you got Giannis, you got KP, you got Kuzma, you got people that gonna produce. So him being hurt ain't gonna be too much of a liability for you. It's a playoff.
Kevin Porter too.
That's what I said, KP.
Oh, okay, yeah. You did say KB. Okay, yeah.
Brown sugar, my baby. How you doing, my love? But yeah, you say you bring him to the bubble cut, like get what? You know he's gonna be injury prone. You know you can't depend on him. And plus, they gonna carry you to where I don't think you will have to worry about it. AD showing up for the playoff. That's it.
Is he gonna be healthy for the playoffs? That's what we gotta wonder. Shit.
It would be nice for him to be healthy for the playoff, but the reality of it is this: we know it's a high probability that he won't be healthy for the playoff.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying about the Bucks, but I'm really looking like I'm looking at the Hawks because the Hawks are right there. I think that the Hawks are with at one point, they were at the top of the East or whatever. They kind of took some slippage or whatever. They're better than that. I mean, I'm just being real. They're better than in my opinion, they're better than the Bucks in terms of potential wise. You know what I'm saying? Like they fight harder than the Bucks. They've been more battle tested than the Bucks. You know, I'm not shitting on the Bucks, but you put AD with that young core. If he stay healthy, and you got to ask yourself this too, Cypress. Can he mesh well with a nigga like Giannis? Can AD mesh well with a nigga like you? Say nah. You breaking up real bad, Cy. No, you see, I'm I'm not gonna
Can you hear me now?
yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah. I ain't gonna 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 roast you too hard like y'all got on me. You said no AD don't like playing center. What you think about that?
You put Giannis or Miles Turner in at yourself.
Miles
Yeah.
Turner, my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Miles Turner. I like Miles Turner, man. My boy True the King. Shout out to True the King, man. I don't know where you at. I know he gonna be popping up sometime. You know what I'm saying? Especially if them Celtics come up. But shout out to True the King. Go sub to his channel. But he was always clowning me, man, because he said, because I like Miles Turner. Miles Turner can hoop, bro. Y'all don't think y'all understand. If you seen him in person, Miles Turner can hoop, man.
Yeah, he a good growth. I believe it. But yeah, man.
Nah, man.
Yeah, man. I like Miles Turner from Indiana. I don't really like this Milwaukee Bucks Miles Turner.
Right. Yeah.
He ain't bad, but I think he played with a little bit more effort in the Indiana
Uh huh.
compared to what cause he did. The man could barely score 12 points a game now. Let's see over there in Milwaukee. But
Right.
yeah, you got a coach over there, Doc Rivers, who don't got a clue. Anyway. So I think that's part of the problem.
Man, here you go, man. Yeah, man, I don't know how many coaches you gonna continue to shit on, man. For real. I mean, if it ain't Doc Rivers, it's Jason Kidd. If it ain't Jason Kidd, you know what I'm saying. You shitting on Tomlin. You know what I'm saying. Then you go back and you backtrack with Tomlin or whatever. And you like, hey, I fuck with Harbaugh. Then you like Harbaugh. I'm glad he gone. Type of man, I can't keep up with your ass, man.
Man, listen. Now, you made me see the light, Polo. I gotta give it to Polo. He made me see the light. Okay, with the John Harbaugh situation. But I didn't think that they was gonna fire uh John Harbaugh. Polo like, nah man, they gonna get rid of John Harbaugh. I'm like, nah, they get rid of Lamar Jackson before they get rid of John Harbaugh. Polo like, nah man, they gonna get rid of Harbaugh. Well, Harbaugh decided not to run the ball with Derrick Henry. Them the yards to get an easier field. Yeah, he's fine. He out of here.
I tried to convince you, and I tried to convince Stephen Green. Um, I think the only one that really knew was Brown Sugar because she knows that squad or whatever. And the thing about it is, man, Cypress, I want you to understand this, and I wanted Stephen to understand this. I know we talking about football right now, but we, like I said, man, we talk about anything on it. We random than a motherfucker. I'm like my nigga Nola boy. Shout out to James, man. Shout out to Nola James out this bitch. Um, listen, John Harbaugh is a great coach for what he did or whatever, but the players aren't resonating with him, and more importantly, he didn't do. I don't think he went. I don't think he was aggressive enough in trying to get the organization to put more weapons around Lamar Jackson. I mean, you went to go get an old ass, not an old, but injury prone now OBJ. Come on, man, he was damaged goods over there, but somehow, some way, he ended up, getting the ring over there with the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you want a dynamic receiver. Like, man, why not go after the nigga picking? Why not do what you can to go get Brandon Ayuk? Why not go after, you know what I'm saying, a Justin Jefferson or something like that and be more aggressive and have that dynamic duo. You know what I'm saying, Cypress?
Right. Yeah.
John Harbaugh, your favorite coach. What? I don't know about that, man. How he your favorite coach? I don't understand that. Are you just saying that, Stephen, because he got fired, man, or are you really serious about that, man? Are you really serious about that, man? You said because he did a lot for the Ravens. I mean, okay, bought a Super Bowl there. You know what I'm saying? But the previous coach bought a Super Bowl. I always forget his name. What's that motherfucking name, man? The coach before Harbaugh. I forget. I always forget his name. But you know who I'm talking about, Steven, and you know who I'm talking about, Cypress and Brown Sugar. He bought a ring there too. And like I said, I'm not shitting on John Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got a ring. You said, I hope get another coaching job. I felt bad for Harbaugh. I don't feel bad for him. I mean, look, you got to make better decisions, and on top of that, you got to be more aggressive. Sometimes, just gotta, you know, you gotta move on. You know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't worked between him and Lamar. It didn't work. If it don't work, look, if me, you, and Cypress, Steven, and let's say we got a rap group. You know what I'm saying? And okay, it goes good the first couple albums. You know what I'm saying? But then uh I break off. I start getting, all these different side deals and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm missing shows and shit like that. But y'all niggas is showing up. You know what I'm saying? And somebody got to sing my part. Or y'all be like, oh, well, Straight ain't here, man. I'm going to have to do his part or whatever. After a while, you and Cypress, y'all going to be like, nah, man, it's just not working or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then I try to come back, but the chemistry ain't the same. You got to let that thing go, or else the people are gonna feel it, and that's what I'm saying. The fans felt it. The fans feel the energy. The fans feel that Lamar Jackson wasn't happy. The fans feel that what's his name, Harbaugh, um, isn't the same. But if he gets another job, hey, I agree with that. Hey, now one person that I would not advise to be coaching no more is Kevin Stefanski. I think he does a terrible job. But damn, we just done got all on football, man. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to be talking about basketball. We were supposed to be talking about Trae Young. We went from Trae Young to AD. You know what I'm saying? We done went all over the place. Like I said, man, we've been rambling the motherfucker on here, man. But man, just getting back to the original topic with Trae Young, man. Like I said, I agree with Cypress with what he said, man. This isn't gonna. This isn't like something that is gonna work for this year. You said Johns had an interview with Kevin. Well, good for them. But he gonna run that organization ragged too. I mean, does he have an okay resume? Yeah, but I mean, I still can't take my mind off of how he treated Shador Sanders, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so bad, man. You put him out there in the fire, and you made it seem like Shador Sanders is just a god awful quarterback when we know that that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna go by that logic, then go look at Caleb Williams' first year, because he didn't play that good. I mean, he didn't start heating up until the end of the season. And Jaden Daniels had a better season his rookie season or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now look at Caleb Williams. He's on the verge of possibly winning the NFC. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what that guy is going to evolve into. Shador Sanders is going to be. Listen, and on top of that, let's look at the life situation. See, nobody want to talk about this, Steven. Okay, and I need you to listen to me and listen to me good, especially you, Brown Sugar, and you too, Cyber. Shador Sanders had to him and Shiloh. They had to help Dion with what Dion was going through. Dion was sick. You know what I'm saying? He was battling what he was battling, and they had to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? They had to help him to the shower, do that stuff or whatever. He was dealing with life, man. He was dealing with life, but he still was able to be committed, still being able to play arguably one of the most difficult positions to play on the field. And it didn't stop him from showing up every game. And on top of that, he was 110% and kept his professionalism. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go off on Kevin Stefanski. Hell, he acted better than what I would have. Shit, Myles Garrett was ready, man. Myles Garrett coming to the media, you know what I'm saying, with his shirt off. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't gonna say nothing to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett pick up two of them motherfuckers with, you know what I'm saying, with his hands. But all I'm saying is like with Shedeur Sanders, the way that he made him look, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't cool. That's all. That was my whole thing with Kevin Stefanski. And then you got the nerve enough with all this fake invitation. You want to sit up there and invite them to dinner? Hell no, I don't want to. I don't want to eat nothing that you cooking. Hell, you liable to poison us. Trying to be fake, but you don't want to put him in the game. You know what I'm saying? People are telling you to put him in the game. Let him make his mistakes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to rant about Shedeur Sanders and no shit like that, but I wanted to lay out an example. In terms of what we're talking about with coaching. You know what I'm saying? Now Harbaugh, I will give him this. I think he would have. I think he would have took a chance on Shedeur earlier in the season. I will give him that. You know what I'm saying? A guy like Kyle Shanahan would have worked with Shedeur. Wouldn't have gave up on him. You know what I'm saying? Would have been like, okay, you're third stringer. Let's go ahead and try the fans calling about him. You know what I mean? So, like I say, and hell, Harbaugh might be a good fit for the Browns too. He could be a good fit for the Browns. You know, it just wasn't working with him and Lamar. And sometimes, man, guys don't buy in. You said Shedeur is going to get better. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Like this isn't a guy. Look, when Bryce Young, everybody was talking all that trash about Bryce Young. Yeah, he's got the talent. He definitely has the talent. He's got the talent and he's got the mental. You know what I'm saying? He's mentally strong. You know what I'm saying? It's not tough to play in the NFL. It ain't tough to play in no professional sport. You know what I'm saying? But especially the game of football, man. Football is a grind, and on top of that, when we talk about the injuries and you having to bounce back from those injuries, then on top of that, you got to take in consideration the weather. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you play at, you got to play in snow. You know what I'm saying? You got to play in rain. You know what I'm saying? You got to play in cold ass temperatures. You got to play against the wind. You understand what I'm saying? You got to play against guys um, that are, twice your size, three times your size. You know what I'm saying? That run way more faster than you, that hit harder than you. You know what I'm saying? That could probably paralyze you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no joke, man, at all. That's why I got a profound respect for guys that do play that sport. If anybody comes to me and says football is easy, man, slap yourself. Because it's not. It's not by no means. And some of these guys, some of these coaches, man, they dedicate so much time to football or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that it has impacted their lives in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Marriages have been destroyed because coaches spend so much time, you know what I'm saying, in in the facility watching film, trying to get better. These guys sit up at night studying plays, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look at the end result, but y'all don't see the hard work that some of these guys be putting in. And that's why, like, I don't appreciate people that hate on Shador Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Are you on a big stage? Have you had to go against first stringers, guys that are hungry, trying to make the playoffs and all that other stuff? You know what I'm saying? Guys that are running 4-3s and 4-2s and all that other shit. No, you ain't win against none of them guys. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, uh, the Atlanta Hawks again. They decided to go ahead and move on from the Trae Young era. They want to go ahead and they want to usher in the uh, Jalen Johnson era, and they want to usher in the Dyson Daniels era. And we're going to see how that happens. Could AD go over there? Maybe so. Could he go to the Bucks? Maybe so. Could he go to the Raptors? Maybe so. There's some people that might think that this is a smokescreen. He might fuck around, go to the Warriors. You never know. But let's see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Either way, the Hawks have made space for some reason. What's going to be the next trade that take place? That's what we got to find out next. Yeah, everybody's eyes is open. You know. But like I said, man, that trade that just happened, it's not gonna move the needle for the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Right now, and I'm gonna say this before I go ahead and I bounce out. Right now, this is just a chemistry builder. This is a chemistry builder. This is a fill out season for Trae Young in terms of getting a feel for the organization, players getting a feel for him, that sort of thing. Now, I'm not. Maybe they could miraculously rise to the top. You know what I'm saying? It's highly unlikely. Maybe they could, but I don't see that happening. Like the brother Cypress TV was saying, this is for like next year. Might be for the year after next. You know what I'm saying? But this year, nah. Getting Trae Young over there is not gonna move no needle. Not gonna move no needle. And I would have liked him to be in a winning organization. I feel like Trae Young deserves to be in a winning organization because he knows what winning is like. Okay, did he get the Larry O'Brien? No, he didn't get the Larry O'Brien, but he was closer than most. There's some guys that ain't been to a conference final, such as Joel Embiid. But you got to give him that. He made it to a conference final. You know what I'm saying? He's just had some trials and tribulations. You said, I think Trae is going to get traded again after the season. Ooh. You think so? To where, Steven? To where? To where? Wow. Nah, so you saying that this is just a pissed off because he's been wanting to go over there because the guy that spoke up for him and drafted him, he's in the front office over there with the Wizards. He used to be with the Hawks because the Wizards are looking towards the future. I mean, but Trae Young wants to be over there. Trae Young wants to be over there. He said that he would like to play for the Wizards. I mean, a lot of people thought it was strange, but he wanted to be over there. You say use Trae Young as value to get better players. But see, that's not gonna make no sense. And it depends on okay, if Trae Young if they were to move him or whatever, which I don't think that's not gonna happen, Steven. But if they were to move him, he got to go to a contender, man. He's got to go to a contender, man. He got to go to like a H Town, which I see as a contender. He got to go somewhere, man. But not no Charlotte or New Orleans and none of that stuff. Sacramento and all this. Nah, nah. He gonna have to go to a contender because this guy, like I said, he knows what winning is like, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for all the shit that Trae Young takes, he still knows what winning is like. He know what winning is like. He knows what winning is like. This is a guy that went to the conference finals. Like I said, have I been very critical of Trae Young? Yes, I have. I've been very critical of him. You know what I'm saying? But I critique anybody that um, is not doing what they're supposed to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Go to a winning team to get a better player. But you still gonna have to give up something. You still would have to give up something, Steven. You still would have to give up something. You still have to build chemistry too. You still got to build chemistry. It wouldn't be an overnight thing. They got to learn Trae Young as a player. Now, do I think that he can adapt? I think I would have liked to see him like go to a Houston or H Town or something like that. But I had to take in consideration a guy like Fred Van Fleet. You know what I'm saying? I had to take that into consideration. But um, yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna stay put. I think he's gonna stay put. Some people are raising their eyebrows like the Wizards. I mean, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to poke fun. I don't want to make it seem like I'm clowning and no shit like that. But I mean, when I think of the Wizards, I mean, I'm like, man, what you trying to do? You trying to just build your stats up? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause y'all not gonna win. You said Wizards take 3 to 4 years to progress. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's gonna take some time, man. We're not talking like right away or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? These guys still got to get together. Yeah, share the video. Appreciate it, Brown Sugar. Share the video, get it out there, man. Your boy's still out here. I said I was gonna go, but I'll stay and kick it with y'all for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? The night is still young. You know, the night is still young. But if you're just coming in, you just tuning in and straight to the point. With the brother out Cypress TV who was here just a few minutes ago, we was up in here talking about Trae Young. Trae Young has been traded to the Wizards for Chris Kirkpatrick and C.J. McCullough. You know what I'm saying? First blockbuster deal of the season. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that the Hawks are making room uh, for AD. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of teams that have been in the front line to possibly get AD that are showing interest in AD. At first, Mark Cuban had came out and defended, you know, the fact that they're not going to change, that they're not going to trade AD, but now it's looking like he's getting ready to go because they're ready to go ahead and move on to the Cooper Flag area. He said Trae want to go to a contender and a chance to be in the finals. That's on his mind. Atlanta won this trade. Uh, yeah, I mean, looking at it, yeah, they did win the trade. The Wizards, you got to Trae Young, but you got to wonder if he's gonna stay healthy. That's been my biggest thing with Trae Young. Like I said again, I'll say this again. Trae Young can hoop. Trae Young can ball. Um, he's another guy that I've seen. A lot of people don't know this. He came out here and he played. It was him and Dennis Smith Jr. You know what I'm saying? They were out here playing. Trae Young can hoop, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he just turnover prone. I'm talking about in the league. Now, when he was out there, the couple games that I was able to see him and watch him play, he took care of the ball and everything like that. But of course, you're on an entirely different level when you're playing, you know, in comparison to pickup ball, and then when you get out there, what I'm saying, with the people, that you're accustomed, to playing with, which is, professional guys that have, played somewhere that are actual legit NBA players, you know what I'm saying? Like, then we get to see, okay, the real, but of course he's going to take care of the ball because a lot of those guys, you know what I'm saying? And it's not to take away, from some of them guys, they know that they ain't going to the NBA. They know they're not going to the NBA, man. But like I say, man, Trae Young, uh, we know that this was going to happen. This isn't no surprise. He was able to go ahead and go and reunite with the guy that pulled the trigger to get him, over there in Atlanta. So, I'm getting ready to go ahead and roll out. I didn't even plan on staying on here that long. But like I said, you never know where the night is going to take us. I want you to hit that like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you are not a member and hit those notifications as well. If you like to donate, you said what do you think the Sixers need to trade? I'm gonna talk about that in another video. I'm gonna talk about. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna dedicate this video just talking about Sixers news and what's going on because we definitely need to talk about that. So save that thought, Stephen Green. We definitely got to talk about my Sixers because I think that they are gonna pull the trigger on something. I just don't know exactly what we don't have. Believe it or not, we don't have that much. We don't have that much to play with. You know what I'm saying? We could make a couple moves there, but not no big gigantic moves like everybody think. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have the money like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you'd like to donate to the Cash App, my Cash App is $ straight to the point 77. Make sure you go sub to the brother Stephen Green. You know what I'm saying? It's on the popping on his channel. Definitely go sub to him. Go follow him, and definitely go sub to the brother Cypress TV, aka that Lust Demon. Okay, go follow his channel. It's on and cracking over there. You know what I'm saying? Gonna go over there. You know what I'm saying? You gonna you gonna you gonna get entertained. You gonna get the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You gonna laugh and you gonna have fun. It's a conglomerate of everything. And then I appreciate y'all being able to pull up and show your support. As I say again, like, share, subscribe, and also hit the notifications as well and share this video too as well. Again, straight to the point. Shouts out to the whole entire Lions Den, basketball and boxing. Till then, man, I'm gone.